Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Friday, November 8th, 2024. We have a pattern change coming with a little bit of rain. If you're looking for colder temperatures, well, this probably isn't going to be the best news for you, but at the very least, we might actually see some rain, which we seriously need as we are moving into a major drought. But first, we have to talk about Hurricane Rafael, which kind of reminds me of Rocky. Every time that you think it's taken a punch, it gets right back up. And right now, it is a major hurricane at 120 miles per hour in the central Gulf of Mexico. The original idea was once it got into the Gulf of Mexico with the shear and dry air, that it would start to weaken. It was starting to do that, but it has rebounded. But I think this might be the last shot here as the storm tracks to the west and then starts to get caught between the upper level trough that's over Texas and the upper level ridge that's over Florida. And so the setup between these two is going to create increasing shear. Now, when we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, it has lost its eye. The convection is still very deep and very impressive around the low level center. Pretty good center dense overcast, but you see how there's this push? See this pull here? Think of it like taffy. You see that pull right there? That is vertical wind shear. It has finally arrived to the party. And with that, it's going to cause the structure of the storm to get stretched to the northeast. And when you're dealing with tropical systems, they don't like being stretched. They're very linear, upright type storms. They want to be vertically stacked. They don't want to have any stretching to the west or north or the south. They want everything right in the center. And in this case, we're starting to see that stretching and pulling occurring. So, what we'll see over the next 24 hours is steady weakening from a Cat 3 very rapidly down into a tropical storm. Why rapidly? This is a very tight, very small, low level circulation. Okay. And when you have these small type hurricanes, unlike the larger ones, they can rev up really fast and then they can decelerate very, very fast. It's kind of an all or nothing type scenario. So typically, when you're looking for storms to have rapid intensification, most of the time, those storms are small storms in size because the energy is more focused. So they're able to really, really ramp up. So this storm's able to intensify, but now those conditions, those favorable conditions are going away, along with a lot of dry air that's starting to wrap into the center. Notice the cloud tops here are starting to cool. You're going to start to see the storm steadily weaken. And you can see the environment here. Here's our trough back here. Here's the dry air starting to influence the storm. There's that shear influence on the northeast side of the storm. You'll see this increase as we go on through the day. And that is what's going to allow our hurricane to steadily weaken. Model guidance is pretty much in strong agreement with this. And for the most part, we're expecting with this type of upper level setup here that this storm would not be a threat for the United States, although riptides along the Gulf Coast, enhanced high tides along the Gulf Coast will certainly be a factor, but the core of the storm will actually end up down towards the Bay of Campeche as an extratropical storm because of the dry air and the shear tearing this storm apart. Now, the title of this video is discussing pattern change, and that's why I discussed this to start. So, look at where we are right now. We have a subtropical junction with a nice robust ridge over the southeast, which is very La Nina-like. Although La Nina has not been established yet, certainly we're gaining more and more influences. So La Nina-like pattern. The subtropical jet stream, though, is pretty strong, pretty robust. Polar jet stream features generally a broad ridge over much of the United States. You got this little weak trough here that is displaced over the St. Lawrence River Valley. Nice upper level low trying to form here around northern Quebec. But the overall theme here is that all your polar air is trapped and your storm track is well to the west of the region, more towards the western and central Great Lakes, keeping us very dry. And in fact, for this weekend, we're going to be very dry as this ridge axis passes over us and sets up tranquil weather conditions. However, changes are on the way. See, the MJO is going to be on its way through phases 8, 1, and 2, which right now is dry, but supports colder temperatures or cooler temperatures. We're obviously not experiencing that, and I'll explain why we're not experiencing that. This is why you don't just look at the MJO, you look at a variety of factors. But in terms of tropical forcing in November and December, when the MJO goes into phase 3, 4, and 5, that supports a storm track more towards the eastern Great Lakes. And what that does is that it drives more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico into our neck of the woods. So if you're looking for a cold weather pattern, this is not good news for you. And I got even worse news for you. But if you're looking for rain, which I think at this point will take rain, snow, someone accidentally dropping something out of a plane with water in it, something, then we'll take it because it is incredibly dry right now. So this pattern here supports a storm track more towards, let's say, central Pennsylvania, central New York, uh, western New York, like around Syracuse. Storm tracks cutting up through the Ohio River Valley. At times, maybe a secondary low pressure system along the East Coast, but it's very weak, so it enhances some of the rainfall, but doesn't change the storm trajectory or the position of air masses. These types of storms are what we're going to be looking for when we go into the second half of November and especially early December. And so, why aren't we seeing any cold air with this? Well, let's talk about that. Polar vortex here is still pretty strong and also over Siberia. Now, towards the end of this forecast, there is signs of stretching, maybe moving towards North America. We'll keep an eye on that. This is at 10 millibars. At 50 millibars, you can see that there is signs of some sort of shifting taking place towards North America, but through the duration of the next 10 days, when you have your polar vortex pretty well established and focused over Siberia, you end up with a lot of Pacific air masses or transient polar air masses that modify very quickly that can give you some false hope 10 to 12 days out in your model guidance, like on the GFS. It tried to show snow and whatnot, and then the next run, it'll have nothing, or maybe even a hurricane, and then that disappears. This is going to lead to a lot of model volatility, but it also is going to lead to a lot of false polar air masses because they're going to swing in and swing out, and they're going to modify faster than what the model guidance is suggesting. So you're going to have a lot of false hope here, but at the same time, with our weather pattern evolving and taking shape here, let's see, this is the GFS guidance. You can see that we're going to see more storm tracks starting to influence the eastern Great Lakes. And there's that bogus hurricane idea disappearing. But again, on the European, same idea, very progressive pattern, but a better chance for some rainfall here with a storm track cutting up towards the Great Lakes. And so, as we look at our weather pattern for today, today's pretty mild. It's pretty quiet. Beautiful, in fact. Temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior. We have a few upper 30s here in northern New Jersey and some of your suburbs. Many of the suburbs are in the mid to upper 40s, lower to mid 50s in your urban areas. Overall, not bad. I mean, let's be honest here. It's November. I'm tired of the 80s. So I can do without the record high temperatures. Thank you very much. Let's get back to more seasonable conditions where we are looking for pumpkin pie and turkey. Thank you very much. In the 50s and 60s. Well, I got some good news because we're going to see a little bit more of that type of weather pattern moving forward. So, right now, high pressure is in control, very quiet. Most of this weekend is going to be very quiet. This feature right here will be tracking towards us and reach us by late Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, where we're going to see increasing cloud cover and the threat for showers. I'm not as bullish as some in terms of rainfall amounts because of the low level dry air that we have to overcome here. But I do like the idea of at least seeing some showers. We'll hold off on the idea of a half an inch of rain, but maybe a quarter of an inch of rain. Sure. I hope I'm wrong and I see more rainfall than that on Monday morning. But you can see here's our storm lifting northward. This is the warm air transport out ahead of the low pressure system. This is again at 500 millibars at PVA, reaching us by Sunday evening, Sunday night, and a Monday morning. And then the cold front moves through on Monday morning with a few lingering showers. You could also see that very nicely in the moisture transport, but it moves fast. So Sunday evening into early Monday morning, by Monday afternoon, you have dry air returning really, really quickly. In fact, look at the dry air transport on Monday afternoon. You're talking about relative humidity falling below 30% again. So clearly by Monday afternoon, we're going to have clearing skies. But the weather pattern overall is at least going to feature at least two potential rainfall threats. In the one for Thursday into Friday, it could actually be a secondary low pressure system trying to form here. I think this is going to get pushed out pretty quickly, but I do like the idea of showers lingering into Friday morning. Not so much an all day rain event on Friday afternoon, but clearly the threat for at least more rainfall. And one of the things I said that would make me more confident of rainfall, and I said this in the live chat, would be an actual low pressure system off of the mid Atlantic coast that would drive moisture in from the Atlantic to overwhelm the dry conditions in place at the lower areas of the atmosphere. And so we're seeing that moving forward with this storm potential here. In fact, let's take a look at the precipitable water values. You can see they get a little bit more enhanced. So some much needed rain will be possible by the end of next week as well. So, and we all know that New Jersey needs it so much, and the rest of the region as well. In terms of the cold air, again, transient, but we'll at least go back to a little bit more seasonable conditions overall. On the GFS, we're seeing the same thing here. Again, I'd be real cautious with trusting anything that gets sustained in this pattern just yet, like what you're seeing here after the 10-day period on GFS. What you want to see is the polar vortex get on this side to sustain this. Okay, I'm not so sure I buy this yet until the polar vortex gets to at least, the Yukon territories, maybe, or, the northern territories in Canada, or maybe dropping down into the Hudson Bay here. If you get that, then this becomes far more sustainable and realistic. Until you really get that, it's just fool's gold right now. So we'll just hold off on that before we start getting too excited about that. As far as the forecast for today, sky cloud cover expected. Look for high temperatures in the lower to mid 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s in the New York City metro, upper 60s to lower 70s in the Philadelphia metro. On Saturday, high pressure will be in control with tranquil conditions expected. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 30s over the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in your suburbs, lower to mid 40s in your urban areas, high temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s in the New York City metro, mid to upper 50s in the Philadelphia metro. On Sunday, high pressure passes through the region with clear skies in the morning, supporting, especially with light winds, lows in the lower to mid 30s over the northern interior, mid to upper 30s along the coast, so a very chilly morning. Then in the afternoon, look for clouds to increase as that warm front approaches. And by Sunday evening, you'll start to see showers starting to develop around the area. Look for high temperatures on Sunday ranging from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. Sunday night into Monday, there comes our showers with some moderate downpours at times. Look for low temperatures on Monday in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. By Monday afternoon, skies clear out very quickly look for high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s in the New York City metro, mid to upper 60s in the Philadelphia metro. On Tuesday, high pressure will be in control with beautiful weather conditions and a bit chillier. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast, high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 50s throughout the region. On Wednesday, look for high pressure to remain in control with pleasant weather conditions, seasonable temperatures with low temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s in your suburbs, mid to upper 30s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior and in the New York City metro, lower to mid 50s in the Philadelphia metro. On Thursday, a cold front will approach with showers, some of them heavy at times, developing in the afternoon and evening. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s in your suburbs, upper 40s to lower 50s in your urban areas. High temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s in the New York City metro, upper 50s to lower 60s in the Philadelphia metro. And on Friday, there's that area low pressure that tries to organize. Again, this might be a little bit overdone, but I do like the idea of at least showers lingering in the morning and then a slow clearing in the afternoon. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast, and high temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. That's your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.